and welcome to another episode of Breadcast Movie and TV Talk. It's been a while since I've watched anything in the catalog of animated DC movies, but I noticed a bunch are on HBO Max, so I thought, why not give them a watch? Now, to preface this video, I've never played either of the video games for Injustice, nor the Injustice comic book run. I haven't read that, but I am curious, so I decided to watch this animated movie. Now, let's talk about Injustice. And remember that there will be spoilers. I want to start with a little note that while this is an animated movie, it is also rated R and is not suitable for children, which you will no doubt realize the further I go into this discussion. The movie kicks off with Superman and Lois in bed. Superman is listening to and hears a heartbeat in which he determines that Lois is pregnant, and that causes Superman to start getting all nervous and spouting a bunch of nonsense about their future child. He does that until he hears some criminals who are fighting Batman and zooms off. Batman is fighting some thugs when Superman zooms in and gets one last guy. Superman wants to tell Batman that he and Lois are pregnant, but Batman pretty much figures it out. And then Batman tells Superman that he's there because the Joker is in Metropolis. We then go to Lois and Jimmy Olsen taking pictures of the Joker's thugs, and then Joker shoots Jimmy through the eye and the camera that he was holding, killing him, and then he takes Lois hostage. Basically, this is the setup in which Joker takes Lois. They go to a submarine with a warhead for some reason, like a nuclear warhead. But Joker also has this gas that's a mix of Scarecrow's fear toxin mixed with kryptonite. And so, using Lois, the Joker lures Superman to their sub, in which Superman goes in, inhales the toxin, and then, he's all just like, where's Lois? And they get out of his way, Joker and Harley Quinn, and what he ends up seeing is Doomsday, but who it actually was Lois, so he, flies up and takes, what he thinks is Doomsday out into space, but then, Batman's like, bro, it's not real, and then Superman's just like, oh fuck, I took Lois Lane out to space, and she died, and of course, their unborn child is dead, and the Joker had this monitor on her heart so that when her heart stopped, the nuke went off and killed 11 million people. Oh, and by the way, in the first 10 minutes here, which is what I'm describing of this movie, the Flash also dies from the Joker. So then Batman takes Joker to Arkham for questioning, but their session gets interrupted by a very pissed off Superman who he busts in and he punches a hole through the Joker, arm and everything through the Joker, blood, all that. It's kind of shocking, honestly. Which obviously that kills the Joker. Green Arrow then takes it upon himself to capture Harley Quinn and take her back to his underground lead-lined lair to sort of protect her from being found by Superman. So then Superman goes in front of all the countries and tells all of the country leaders that every major conflict, violent conflict, needs to end, or he will make them end. He and Wonder Woman go about stopping conflicts, and then we have a Justice League meeting. In this meeting, the members of the Justice League basically go back and forth on if what they think Superman is doing is a good thing or a bad thing, and then it kind of ends up being like Civil War, where one half agrees and one half disagrees, but then also a bunch of superheroes, they just exit the movie basically at this point. Shazam leaves, Green Lantern leaves, Aquaman leaves. Yeah, it's weird. So then we go to a meeting of U.S. military officials where they're just like, oh, what Superman's doing is great when it works in our favor, but when it works against us, it really sucks. And so they get a guy named the Mirror Man to capture Superman's dad, since they think Superman's committing treason. And they do end up capturing his dad, Pa Kent. Unfortunately, Wonder Woman happens to go to the one bar where it seems like all the villains hang out, and they find this Mirror Man, and with the help of Raven, Teen Titans Raven, they take Mirror Man's belt so that Superman can get Pa Kent back, which he does. Batman meets with one of the US military leaders to tell him that taking Superman's dad was a bad idea, but the leader guy doesn't really believe Batman because he's like, Superman would never do that because he would never hurt me. But then Superman meets up in the Batcave where Nightwing and Robin are sparring, and an interesting thing here is when Robin thanks Superman for killing the Joker because the Joker deserved to die a long time ago. I thought that was interesting for Robin to say. Superman tries to make peace with Batman, but Batman believes that what Superman is doing is wrong and that killing the Joker was also wrong. And they get into this whole fight where, Superman's just you've had how many chances to get rid of the Joker, but you just keep locking him up in Arkham and he keeps escaping Arkham, so something had to be done. So anyway, the point that he's there, though, is that Superman has an announcement to make in Gotham, and Superman wants Batman to be there, but Batman says no. Superman's big announcement the next day is that he's moving folks that are in Arkham to somewhere. They don't actually say where. Batman and Nightwing get in the Batwing and head to Arkham. Also, Green Arrow and Harley Quinn are headed to Arkham as well. What ends up happening is that Harley releases some of the inmates and a fight breaks out, so they set aside their differences and fight the inmates of Arkham. Superman eventually gets pissed off enough that he flies through a dude, a really big dude, killing him. What was really shocking in this particular fight is when Robin kind of gets pissed off and he throws one of his stick things and it bonks Nightwing right on the head, and Nightwing goes right down and doesn't get back up, and it's pretty much implied that Nightwing is dead. Batman carries out the body of Nightwing while Robin attempts to apologize, but Batman's just I thought you could be redeemed, but I guess I was wrong. At this point, Batman allies himself with Harley Quinn, Plastic Man, Catwoman, and Green Arrow. There's a point that Batman and crew try to break into the Fortress of Solitude to get a red sun emitter because that'll stop Superman, apparently. I should mention that at this point, Robin has aligned himself with Superman along with Wonder Woman and Cyborg, and they end up teaming up with Batman and Robin's former mentor, Ra's al Ghul. Anyway, there's a battle in the fortress in which there's a moment where Green Arrow shoots a kryptonite arrow, but Superman deflects the arrow, and oh yeah, it goes into Pa Kent. Of course, Superman sees it as Green Arrow just killed his dad, so Superman gives Green Arrow the old laser to the face, killing Green Arrow. Eventually, with the help of Ra's al Ghul, they release a bunch of drones into both Gotham and Metropolis as a kind of harsh security measure, if you ask me. There's this raging party where Superman crashes the place to find that it's filled with Joker supporters, which really pisses Superman off, and he goes laser crazy, killing everyone. Outside, while Superman's doing that, Batman's running towards this club, but Catwoman stops him and tells him that what's the point of going there if he's just going to die. So then Ra's al Ghul has this robot guy that he shows Superman. I forget what the thing's name is. It's a stupid name, but anyway. And Superman lets him test it in Smallville. The thing scans people and determines if the person is a criminal or doing criminal activity, But the thing goes off the chain. Superman tells Ra's al Ghul to shut it down, but he doesn't. So Superman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkman start fighting this thing. Eventually Cyborg shows up, but the robot guy ends up killing Hawkman, while Superman and Wonder Woman keep going at it. Then Batman, Cyborg, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Plastic Man arrive with this guy I forget the name of that they broke out of a super prison. Is it Mr. Terrific? Yeah, Mr. Terrific, that's who it was. Mr. Terrific has some boxes that open a blue cube portal thing. So then, while Superman and Wonder Woman are still fighting the robot guy, Plastic Man gets tired of that robot guy interfering. So he, Batman, and Superman, and Wonder Woman manage to tie it up, and then Plastic Man kills the robot guy. So now you'd think that Superman would let Batman and his crew go, but he still thinks that they're criminals because they have not aligned themselves with Superman. Wonder Woman disagrees with this, which pisses Superman off. This is like the second time in this movie when Wonder Woman kind of shows that like she doesn't really agree with what Superman's doing, but yeah. Anyway, this is when the plan that Batman and Mr. Terrific have, and it goes into full swing as another Superman appears, and it's Superman from Earth. It's confusing because like they try to do this multiverse thing in this movie where like when this other Superman appears, okay, he says that his Earth is Earth 1, and that the Earth that all the heroes in this movie are from is Earth 22, but then when he appears, Mr. Terrific says he's Superman from Earth 9. I don't know, it's all kinds of confusing, but it's another Superman. So then, pissed off Superman asks Batman if this was his grand plan the whole time, having this other Superman fight, in which Batman, the two Superman have a showdown in which pissed off Superman defeats this other universe Superman. So then our Superman asks Batman if this was his grand plan the whole time, to which Batman says no. And then another version of Lois comes out, a pregnant Lois by the way, and gets Superman to calm down. This Lois is pretty much able to just convince Superman that what he's done is really bad and all that stuff. Superman agrees to be put in whatever prison that Batman and crew want him to be in. Batman kisses Catwoman, and the movie ends. So yeah, we have a body count for named characters in Injustice, which is The Flash, Joker, Pa Kent, Green Arrow, Hawkman, and Earth 9 or Earth 1 Superman. I don't know what to classify that guy as. Yeah, Nightwing didn't actually die. He goes to this like ethereal plane where this weird lady is just like, you're gonna be reborn, and now you were Nightwing, but now you're Deadwing. I was going to mention it while talking through the plot, but I felt like it was something that was really not important to the movie, because Deadwing only does like two things in the movie that could have been left out. Like when they go to rescue Mr. Terrific, he comes in and like, stops Cyborg from shooting them. And then Robin has this fight with Ra's al Ghul that also was not very important or integral to the movie, where like Deadwing possesses Robin's body and helps him fight Ra's al Ghul. It could have been left out, honestly. But to be honest about this movie gives me a Batman v Superman vibes by having, Batman and Superman be against each other for the majority of the movie, and then Batman using Lois to bring Superman back down to Earth, if you want to call it that. Injustice isn't a bad movie, because while the plot's kind of average, the action is really good, just to be as expected in a DC animated movie. I also can't say if this movie relates to the Injustice video games or the comics, because I've not played the games or read the comic books. A lot of this just kind of felt out of character, though, for some of these characters. How is it that Superman can turn into this level of pissed off from the inciting incident? I also don't get how he doesn't blame himself for killing Lois when it was really his own fault. Like, sure, the Joker's toxin mix didn't help, but Superman is the one that took her out into space without a second thought. And I have to say, I think it's the same too with when his dad died. He's the one that deflected the arrow that ends up landing in his dad. He should have been careful with what was going on, but he wasn't paying attention. Sure, Green Arrow shot the arrow, but he's not responsible for where it lands, The last thing that I can really think of is that I didn't like the voice of Joker at all. It was too deep and it didn't sound like the Joker. And I still don't like how some of the heroes just kind of dipped. it towards the middle of the movie. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Injustice is an average, and it's an enjoyable movie. That's all I have to say, so if you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.